In a peaceful village nestled between two towering mountains, there lived a humble stonecutter named Liam. Every day, he would leave his small cottage and head to the mountainside to carve blocks of stone, which he would then sell to the villagers. His life was simple, but it was not without frustration. Liam often dreamed of having more wealth, more power, and more influence. He envied the people in the village who seemed to have easier lives, filled with luxury and respect. One particularly hot afternoon, after a long, exhausting day of work, Liam sat by a stream to cool off. As he rested, he thought aloud, "If only I could be someone powerful, like a rich merchant or a nobleman. Then I wouldn't have to suffer like this every day." As if in response to his thoughts, a sudden flash of light appeared, and a deep voice echoed through the valley. "Your wish shall be granted." Liam blinked, startled by what he had heard, but before he could question what had happened, he found himself transformed into a wealthy merchant. His once calloused hands were now soft, and his tattered clothes had turned into fine silk. He looked around in amazement as his simple home was replaced by a grand estate, complete with servants and a stable full of horses. For a time, Liam reveled in his new life. He no longer had to toil under the hot sun, and people now treated him with respect wherever he went. But it wasn't long before Liam realized that even with wealth, his happiness was fleeting. One day, as he rode through the village in his grand carriage, he saw a powerful nobleman being carried in a palanquin. People bowed and cleared the way for him, showing far more respect than they ever had for Liam, even in his newfound wealth. Jealousy sparked within him once more. Being a rich merchant is nothing compared to being a nobleman, Liam thought. I wish I could have that kind of power and respect. Again, the deep voice echoed in response. Your wish shall be granted. In an instant, Liam was transformed into a nobleman. He now wore fine robes embroidered with gold, and his home was a grand palace. Everywhere he went, people bowed before him, and he commanded great influence over the land. He was invited to the most prestigious events, and kings sought his counsel. It seemed, for a time, that he had finally found the life he had always dreamed of. But as seasons passed, Liam realized that, even as a nobleman, he was still not satisfied. One summer day, a parade was held in honor of the king, and Liam noticed how the people revered the monarch. Crowds gathered, chanting the king's name, and the entire city came to a standstill as the king's golden chariot passed through the streets. The king's power seemed absolute. His mere presence commanded the loyalty and admiration of the entire kingdom. I wish I could be the king, Liam thought. He is the most powerful of all. And once again, the voice replied, Your wish shall be granted. Liam was now the king, sitting upon a magnificent throne, ruling over vast lands and commanding armies. His word was law, and his subjects obeyed, without question. He was surrounded by wealth, power, and luxury beyond his wildest dreams. Yet, even as king, something still gnawed at his heart. He began to realize that power over people did not bring him true peace or contentment. One day, as he looked out from his palace, he noticed the intense heat of the sun burning down upon his kingdom. The people struggled under its rays, seeking shade and respite. Even the crops wilted in the fields under the sun's power. The sun, Liam thought, is more powerful than any king. I wish I could be the sun. Once more, the voice granted his wish. Liam became the sun, shining brightly in the sky, looking down upon the world below. He felt invincible, his rays stretching across the land, giving life to plants and warming the earth. But as the days passed, Liam noticed something strange. Despite his great power, he could not always shine through. Dark clouds would gather, blocking his light and casting shadows over the earth. No matter how brightly he shone, he could not pierce through the clouds. The clouds are stronger than I am, he realized. I wish to be the clouds. And so, Liam became the clouds, floating high above the world. He could block the sun's rays and bring rain to the earth. He felt mighty, drifting freely across the sky. But soon, he noticed that the wind would blow him wherever it pleased. No matter how large or thick the clouds were, the wind could push them aside effortlessly. The wind is stronger than the clouds, Liam thought. I wish to be the wind. His wish was granted once more, and he became the wind. He roared across the earth, tearing through forests, whipping up storms, and bending trees with his force. He was free to move as he pleased, powerful and untamable. But as the wind, Liam found that even he was limited in his power. One day, as he blew across a mountainside, he encountered a massive stone cliff that stood unmoved by his force. No matter how hard he blew, the mountain remained firm, unshaken. The mountain is stronger than I am, Liam thought. I wish to be the mountain. In an instant, Liam became the mountain, tall and immovable. He stood proud and strong, enduring all the forces of nature without yielding. He felt invincible, the mightiest force in the world. Yet, as days turned to weeks, Liam noticed something peculiar. A small figure came every day to the base of the mountain, chipping away at the rocks. It was a stonecutter, hammering diligently, slowly shaping the mountain's surface. Liam realized, with a shock, that the stonecutter was more powerful than even the mountain. With his simple tools, the stonecutter could carve through solid rock and change the very shape of the earth itself. I wish to be the stonecutter again, Liam thought. The voice granted his final wish, and Liam returned to his humble life as a stonecutter. As he stood once more at the mountainside, hammer in hand, he understood something profound. The power he had sought in wealth, status, and influence had not brought him happiness. True strength came not from being the richest, the most revered, or the mightiest, but from finding contentment in his own life and his own abilities. From that day on, Liam worked with a new sense of purpose. He no longer envied others, for he had learned that each person's role in the world is valuable in its own way. He embraced his life as a stonecutter, understanding that his work, though simple, had a lasting impact. And in that simplicity, he found the peace and fulfillment he had sought all along.